Okay, I'm going to talk to you people as well. So good afternoon, all of you. As a starting point, I think it is an onus on me to say it that happy International Women's Day to each one of us. But at the same time, since I have this critical way of looking at things, how many of you actually can tell me as to why Women's Day is celebrated today? आज है ना Women's Day? क्यों है आज इतने events हैं, we are organizing so many events, there is a truck with a DJ coming, something like that, but why do we have it? सोचा है कभी किसी ने? We have it today, right? How many of you say we have Women's Day today, International Women's Day? Why? Let me change the question. How many of you can tell me as to why we celebrate Diwali? हमें पता है हम दिवाली क्यों मनाते हैं? Can we say the same when we say about other religious festivals such as Holi? And do we have International Women's Day today? And isn't it disheartening that any one of us in this classroom, and if there are people in the online class, we don't have a word to say as to why do we celebrate this International Women's Day today, that is on March 8th? तो क्या ये celebration सिर्फ tokenism है? The reason as to why I started with such a pessimistic note is also to engage with you that maybe it is time to ask some more fundamental questions. And this workshop, fortunately, it is pretty fortuitous on that part that we are starting our workshop on this very day under the leadership of a female director, that is Professor Dr. Saroj Bora, who might join us if she gets time. And we are commencing the workshop with two women scholars who will be engaging or discoursing with you over the importance and the fundamentals of MOOT. I think it is pretty fortuitous and it's pretty appealing in that way that we are starting our discourse with two women scholars talking about it. So without further ado, the speaker for our today's session are Dr. Ashu Maharshi. She's an associate professor with us, and Ms. Sonali Bhatnagar, she's assistant professor. They will be deliberating upon introduction to mooting and why do we require mooting in a law school at a first place. Now, before I pass on to them to run the show, because that's their show for today, just a small critical intervention that I thought I should be making is, what is the virtue of MOOT for me? And as a law teacher or as a facilitator, what is it that we feel why MOOT is important? Now, most of you have heard of this term called dialogue, right? What do we call dialogue in Hindi? What do we call dialogue in Hindi? Have you heard this term before, dialogue? Yes, sir. क्या होता है dialogue का मतलब? Is it important? Like, if I say that let's literally roughly translate dialogue in Hindi, it's called samvad. Am I right? Yes, sir. क्या संवाद important है? क्यों है important? And that is the premise कि does this samvad or dialogue play a crucial role in legal education? Dialogue over unresolved, open, contemporary issues allows us to learn or unlearn the very core of what we think, how we think, of what we act, speak, or write. This dialogue will allow you that breadth to reflect and absorb. And that is the intention of this particular workshop. It is also a skill advancement workshop, but at the same time, the workshop is to take you to the more fundamental of what you think your virtues are when you took up the law course. आपके मायने क्या है legal education के virtues के, and do this jigsaw puzzle fit somewhere in your aspirational model. So we are just trying to provide you a bit more interactive legal education so that you can ask yourself and reflect upon what is it that you are seeking from this legal education. Am I kind of make sense to you guys?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm on that note, I'm going to pass it on to our first speaker. I think Ashu ma'am is going to speak first. So Ashu ma'am, are you with us? Do we have her? Okay, we're just gonna wait for Ashu ma'am to join us.
Yes, sir, I'm there. Good afternoon.
Yes, ma'am. Please take it from
Is
here.
my voice
Yes,
audible
ma'am.
to you, sir?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay, sir. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Now, we are here all with the workshop on the art of mooting. Yes, and which I will be discussing here with you is what is mooting. Yes, what exactly we do in this particular, you could say, subject, or what exactly we learn. Why is it necessary? All these things we'll be discussing through, and it has been like uh, channelized in a manner that you will be covering each and everything during these 6-day workshops. So I am discussing here regarding the mooting, that what is a mooting? Now, mooting is not same as a public speaking, or you could say as a debating. Yes, though it shares some common elements of these activities, but the mooting is a sort of a, you could say, it is a specialized application or an art of an advocacy. Yes, that is being called as a mooting. Now, it has been a part of a training for the lawyers for centuries. It's not that it has recently been developed, this art of mooting, and uh, the college, the legal education, they are having this mooting from the recent times. No, it was for the centuries, and yes, it plays an important role in the legal education. Now, the question which comes often in our mind is that why mooting is important. Yes, why, how mooting enables the students. Yes, basically, it helps the students to think very deeply, yes, on the topic that is the, you could say, on the topic that is being given to the students. Yes, that is the legal issues which are being given to the students. Yes, another thing is that it helps to enhance their advocacy, legal research, and above all, the writing skills. Obviously you will be preparing memorials, so that is also the reason behind moot, you could say. Another thing is that when ever the students are going for any moot court competition and all, so it's not a one man who goes there in the competition and presents, because we have two parties, plaintiff and defendant. So obviously, and there would be researchers also, and the team is also being there. So what I would like to say in that, the reason behind the mooting is that it makes you work closely with your peers, yes, and to learn also from their peers. Okay, another thing is that while presenting in a moot court, yes, we all know that it is a sort of a, it is not a realistic court. Yes, it is a sort of a situation which is being set up. Yes, and the students are being acting like as a counselors, or you could say advocates, and they present from both the sides, that is the plaintiff and the defendant. And how they present using the evidences and all. So basically the mood that which we'll be discussing here, or which we are discussing now, is that it is a sort of a realistic code which is being based on a situation. Yes, a situation is being given to you, and then you argue with each other to prove your position, yes, in front of judge. And then finally the verdict comes, the winners are being decided by the judges who are being present there, and accordingly the results are being announced there. Okay, now another thing which you must know, that is the moot problem is always being based on facts. Facts are being given to you, yes, and it is not that when the facts are being given to you, you are just giving a sort of a legal dissertation to the judge. That means you compile everything and you submit to the judge. No, you have to explain that what is the result of whatever you have compiled in a memorial, yes, in regard to the facts of the particular case. So that is why it is very important that each and every student, whenever they are working on this moot problem and all, they must be aware of exactly what the facts of that moot problem are. Okay, and another thing is that key, like most of the students, yes, they find that the mooting, it rewards you intellectually, yes, and sometimes it feels very enjoyable also for you. Yes, lot of fun is also there because 4 or 5 people interact together, yes, and sometimes like you are not able to reach to the exact the authorities and all, so you are sometimes frustrated also that what exactly. And I tell you, generally the exercise is being done when the jurisdiction has to be decided. So that is also a very interesting thing when the memorials are being made by the students and all. So, or you could say that moot court is basically it's a sort of a miniature which is being created for the real courtrooms and all. So I would like to say that the mooting is very much important component of a student education. Yes, if they plan to become a lawyer or if they plan to become a judicial officer, yes, because while going for the moot court competition, yes, learning the skills, the mooting skills and all, you will be able to, I am sure that the students will able to justify in the courts. Yes, if you become the judge also, obviously the training would be there. Once you become, you are being selected in any judicial services. But then also, if you have been experienced all these, if you have a closet experience of a courtroom exercise and all, obviously it would really help you in the future. So I just want to put it here that yes, mooting is a best exercise for the law students to develop all the to develop all sort of the, you could say, the knowledge, the habits, yes, which are being there in the courtrooms and all. Yes, and obviously if you inculcate all these things in yourself, obviously you would be preparing yourself for a better future. And if we are clear with all these things, obviously the start taking participation in the moot court competitions and all. Yes, and why? Because if you start taking participation in the moot court competition, yes, you will be going around the, like, state competitions are there, then national, then international. So you would be interacting with one another, and yes, you would have a more better notion of mooting. Obviously, if you are doing intra-moot, so you will be meeting with your colleagues only, your batchmates. If you're doing the national moot court, so you will be meeting with the students who are from different states and all. International, obviously, you will be going around the country. So yes, obviously, something or the other, you will get the notion of mooting, and that could enhance your knowledge. Yes, that is the purpose of, you could say, or the reason behind mooting is there. Apart from that, there are some other you could say the importance of mooting is that yes, you try to develop, uh, you get socialized with the number of people, yes, around the world. That's what I said. If you travel around due to this moot court competitions and all, obviously you learn something from the other. The thing which you do doesn't know, you can get from the other student, might be, yes. Secondly, you could have a good writing and a research skill. Yes, you right now, sir has said the dialogues. Yes, yes, that is what it's been required here, that you'll develop the skills. Just writing the answers in the exams and all, it's a different thing. And to draft a memorial and then to plead in a court, that is totally different. Why? Because five students are there, or five uh, students are there working on one memorial. Obviously everybody has a different mindset. Yes, everybody has a different intellectual. Yes, the brain that is being given to everyone is same, but how we use it, that is totally different. So obviously you learn the writing skills, the research skills. Yes, another thing, once you prepare the memorial, you present in front of the panel of judges and all, yes, there would be self confidence among you. Obviously, if I ask somebody to speak right now on some topic, yes, very few would be there to speak that something on that topic. Why? Because we don't have a confidence. Yes, not that much confidence. We start fumbling. So that is also one of the purpose, that after 10th sem, when you go out from this university or from wherever you are studying, yes, because students from the different colleges also have joined here. So yes, you learn something, you'll have a confidence to speak in front of court. So that is also one of the things, that you'll develop a self confidence, a belief in yourself, that yes, I am speaking, whatever I am speaking, that is correct. And that is the quality of an advocate. Yes, if you can't speak, can't prove yourself in front of judge, so it you may lose the case also. So from next time the client would not approach to you, because he'll say my advocate is not well versed with the laws and everything. So that is also one of the thing of the mooting skills, is that your writing skills, your communication skill, you develop a belief in yourself, a confidence in yourself, and that is a very much important. Yes, and it has been said that can advocate, generally people say that they speak a lot. No, it's not. Speak a lot means that whatever is the position over there, a circumstance is there, we have to speak accordingly. Same goes with the memorial also, or the facts which are being given to you. You cannot distort the facts. You have to be in that purview only, and to prepare the evidences, all the documents and all, and you have to present in front of the court. So that is also the important thing. Another thing is that with the mooting, you get in practical experience. Obviously, the mooting, it helps the students in the practical experience and all. Yes, when we are studying in a classroom, obviously you have been taught by PPTs and all the other modes of teachings are being there. But this particular exercise of mooting, it is a little bit different. Why? Because suppose you are studying KM Nanavati case. Yes. So if we enact that, or if we do it in a form of a skit or something, or if you practically do that case in a courtroom, that is a totally different thing. You'll know how the constitutional provisions are being used. Yes. How the jurisdiction is being decided, how the appeal is being given, appeal is being done, kaise, the petition is being filed. All these things are being there while you are there in this mooting exercise. So above all, the practical experience is also being there with this mooting exercise and all. So I just want to convey to all the students who have been present in this meeting is that this, the mooting, is one of the exercise which tries to give you, or which makes you attempt, like, yes, makes you be a part of a competition, or you could say it provides you an opportunity to get more an exposure outside the world. Yes, and obviously this will develop your, the, you could say, the confidence, the belief. Yes, and above all, that is, you will develop a sort of a confidence. Yes, whenever you are speaking in front of, I'm not saying that whenever somebody's discussing with you, you start fighting with that person. No, I agree on this. No, that is not a building a self belief or a confidence. That is not there. That is an argument. But whenever you are doing an argument in the moot court competition, and also the purpose is that you should convey the panel of judges over there that what you want to put in front of them. Yes, with the authorities, with the citations. Yes, all these things are very much important. Plus, when any moot court problem is being there, moot problem is being given to you, so obviously there are like there are a combination of CRPC, IPC evidence and all. So when we are studying in the classroom, yes, we generally refer to one book. Yes, so but when we are working on this any mood problem and all, obviously we require that we should read from different books. Yes, uh, so that we could get more and more authorities from there. Plus, it would enhance your knowledge ultimately, because it's not possible that all the papers you study in one semester, and might be that you don't study some papers not in the UG, you study in PG. So what happens with this moot court exercise and all, you'll try to read those papers also. Suppose you have taken a corporate law honors paper, but that moot problem is of criminal, or the moot problem is of some IPR or ITL. So you can't say that I am the student of corporate law, I can't read that. No, this will help you to read those papers also, because we don't know that after 10 sem where we would be, like, might be your mindset change that I want to go in this corporate firm, or I want to be a legal officer in some insurance company or in RBI and all. So this thing will help you later on also. And this is a continuous exercise. It is not a one-day exercise or one-time exercise that, yes, this semester I've done my moot court, I have done. जो मुझे सीखना था, I've done. No, it is not so. This is a continuous exercise. You should not leave that, yes, I have done, now I am experienced. No, because we all know that every day there are being some amendment in the law, some changes, some or the other thing is happening in the world. So we must be updated, and this is also the way we could get updated also. Okay. Thank you, Aditya sir. Thank you, Sonali ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. That was really enlightening, and I'm pretty sure that students have something to reflect and take away. So we're going to have a small presentation from Sonali Bhatnagar as well. And if there are questions, we'll take all of these questions at the end of our meeting today. Thank you, Ashu ma'am, once again. And I'll pass on to Sonali for further presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
The presentation is gone. Okay, I think. Is it visible to all? Okay, so I think Ashu ma'am has given a quite discussion on what we are going to discuss today. But so try to stay with me a bit more. So the session today which I'm going to take is the art of mooting, and the topic which I'm going to discuss is the introduction to mooting. So basically I'm just going to tell you what mooting is, that's all. Further, there are many sessions coming, they'll give you brief discussions. We'll just understand what mooting is, that's all. So it's not changing. No, it's not changing. Should I like start again?
Just try to start. You can do
I
put it
think
full screen, just
that would be okay. Okay, so starting basically just understanding that what moot is. Can you people, like anyone can share that as per your understanding, what do you think a moot is? Ma'am has given a quiet discussion. Anyone? Anything? Online, people sitting. Yes.
Now, moot court is a place where we can understand how the real court works actually. What are the elements and how the real court.
Okay. Anything else? Anyone? It's fair enough to understand that when we talk about moot court or moot, so basically we are just understanding it's a kind of role play which is meeting the academic simulation. So we are trying to imitate something. Okay, role play like acting out, and we are imitating something. So similarly, when we talk about moot, so a court play, a court, whatever acts in the court, a court procedure, we are trying to understand and play it around in the academic sessions to understand that what exactly happens in the courtroom. Now, when we try to understand that what basically is the definition of the moot court, it says a moot court competition stimulates a court hearing in which participants analyze a problem, research the relevant law, and prepare written submissions and present a oral argument. The general definition, I think, which you people have already understood, that whenever a moot starts, so there will be a team, you have to, there will be a problem on which you have to work, you have to research, you have to make a proposition, and then you have to argue on that. There will be arguments from both the sides of the party, plaintiff, defendant. They have to put their arguments to the judges, then rebuttal to that examinations, and then there is a judge, the judges gives a feedback to understand that whatever you have argued, and are those coming, the issues which you have presented to the judges, so what is your reasoning behind it, and what are the proofs or evidences which you are submitting, and you're stating that why these issues are coming into the statement to that position. Now, when we try to understand that how moot is different, now see, there are different types of activities which takes place in the time of the academic session. You'll be doing debate, you'll be doing MUNs, you'll be having mock trials, you'll be having client counselings, you'll be having trial advocacy, mock trials. So basically, what differentiate moot from all those things? As we know, debate can be, if it's okay. So debate, simply when we talk about a general topic, a current affair, or any abstract topic, any fictional topic which you can discuss, which you can debate about. Or on the other hand, when we talk about moot situations, it is more of a hypothetical situation, but an existing situation on which you are going to act, you are going to play, or you are going to give, you're going to discuss issues on based on different using different types of laws which are existing, that why are these issues, what is the issue? For exam, just to understand that अगर आपके पास कोई situation है या कोई preposition है कि this is what the case is. So first of all, we try to understand that, as ma'am said, that what is the jurisdiction of that place. Is it filed at the correct place or not? So we try to understand the jurisdiction. So these are the different things we understand when we try to act, when we try to deal with moot court. But जब हम debate की बात करते हैं, so it's just a simple topic where you're just trying to put your points, you're just trying to speak that, or you're trying to just build your confidence, or you're just trying to state that this is my opinion. Might be people agree to that opinion, or might be people not agree to that opinion. But in moot court, you're not stating any kind of opinion to the public. Are they agreeing to it or not? You're just stating according to the evidences, on the basis of the evidences, on the basis of the laws which are existing, that these are your points on the basis of which you believe that your issues, this is how you're going to prove your issues. Now, when I said that what is mock trial, now how it is different from mock trial or trial advocacy, the basic difference is that moot court is more over a stimulation of an appellate proceedings, and mock trial is more over a stimulation of the trial advocacy. Now, what is the basic difference between this is trial advocacy is something which is starting from the very basic, from trial courts. Okay, so like district court. So if you have any issue, if you have any problem, how it will be starting from the trial court, from the very basic. Is it a civil is it a civil case? It is a criminal case. Which court it will be going, how you will be proceeding, how you will be finding the legal pleadings, how the evidences will be submitted, how the affidavits will be submitted. All these things have to be taken care from the very basic things. That what your trial advocacy, or you can say a mock trial, needs to understand from the very basic ground. Okay, but when we talk about moot court is not something which is starting from the very basic. It do make you understand what is the court procedure, how you have to deal, what are the manners, what are the etiquettes related to court, but moreover at the appellate level. That means something which is already existing, something which is already happening. There is some case which has already happened, and now you are going to discuss about it. Okay, so a bit of a higher level to understand. Now, why moot? What do you think? Why moot is necessary for you people? Anyone?
It's help us to help us in legal education. It makes us a good researcher because in making of a movie, we have to research a lot, and it builds a confidence in us of speaking and sharing our opinions over the text. And it also gives us experience how real would work.
Okay. Anyone else? Anyone from online would like to speak? Okay, just when we talk about that, why moot, why there is a requirement to create any kind of moot activity, why there is this co-curricular activity introduced, what is the need of it? First of all, as I have defined, that legal education, evolution of students. So when we talk about legal education, what basically happens is that a very general understanding, whenever we talk about law, or whenever a person thinks that मुझे for example, कोई बच्चा अगर स्कूल से निकला है and he is like कि मुझे लॉ पढ़ना है, लेकिन एक बेसिक अंडरस्टैंडिंग होती है कि लॉ मतलब काफी सारे लॉज पढ़ने पड़ेंगे, कितना बोरिंग होगा, कितना थियोरेटिकल होगा, इतने सारे लॉज याद करने पड़ेंगे, केसेस पढ़ने पड़ेंगे. So to change that theoretical aspect, it is important that a practical aspect is also understood. Okay, for आपने 5 साल पढ़ा, आपने सारे लॉज पढ़ लिए, you're very good, बहुत अच्छे मार्क्स आ रहे हैं, रिजल्ट बहुत अच्छा आ रहा है, सारे लॉज समझ में आ रहे हैं, लेकिन for example, if any one of you want to be it's not important that you only want to be a litigator in any area, but you don't know how to publicly speak. You don't know how to put your points, your arguments in front of people. Okay, so when we say about moot, we just not telling you ki not trying you to understand कि सिर्फ code procedure समझ में आना चाहिए. You should also be able to speak in public. You should also be able to build your confidence. You should also be able to research, to critically analyze, to critically think. Your orientation can be built up, because see, that's a very general thing that many times when you see in front of public or you want to give a presentation, you have that nervousness creates nervousness breakdown hota hai, so people are not able to. So that is why moot can help you in building all those things. Then it also provides a teamwork, as ma'am already said that whenever we talk about moot, it's not like one person job. 3 people, 4 people, however the team is created, there will be speakers, there will be researchers. So you also understand that how a team can work, and later on it can also be helpful. Practical knowledge, again, for the future you will be knowing that how the procedure, not exactly the procedure, but a basic understanding that okay, these are the things which are going to be happening and this is how you have to deal with it. This is visible. Okay. Now, mood क्या होता है, क्यों जरूरी है, क्या क्या, what are the benefits of it, all known. Now just a basic history that how mood came into existence. Now when we talk about, अगर हम इंडिया के aspect में बोलें, so the from very first culture from where the mood started was Britain, and as we all know that from the after independence India has adopted many things from Britain, so mood culture is one of a part of it. Okay. In 1997, there was one university which is called Inns of Court, which was on the same footing with Oxford, Nalanda, and Cambridge in terms of legal education. That was basically a law school. And that is how from 18th to 19th century, the formal legal education began in America. And they followed the same practice of teaching as Inns Court. Not going that much to history, I think it's getting very boring, so let's just understand that that's how the formal legal education started. And then when we talk about in the concept of India, so when they took it from Britain in 1987, I think 1985, Bar Council of India was the very first organization which introduced the moot court, and that is how moot court in India came into existence. And after that, there was a committee which was built by Bar Council of India. In that committee, a law commission was established in 184th commission, which stated that it is important that moot court should be there. And why they said that moot court should, even Supreme Court affirmed to it that yes, there should be a moot court in every every curriculum of law colleges or law schools. And why it is important? Because we have to build lawyers. We have to build professional lawyers. We have to build legal practical knowledge or education for them. And that is not possible if we are just giving theoretical aspect to it. Students sitting in a class, reading barracks, teacher delivering lectures, simply reading the barracks, explaining them the concept, interpretations. Okay, आज हम कॉन्ट्रैक्ट पढ़ेंगे, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में ये सेक्शन है, इससे ये केस रिलेट होता है, and that's all done. But how will you understand कि आपने कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में जो सेक्शन पढ़ा है उसको आप कैसे अप्लाई करोगे if there is a requirement, if there is a case behind related to it. So that is what a moot court will help you to build, what you are learning and how you're going to apply it. I think that's all for the any questions, anyone now? Yes, any questions? Do we have questions online? No questions. सब समझ में आ गया? Everything is clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just a call for questions. If there are any questions for both the speakers, kindly raise your hand, or you can drop a message through a chat option so that I, as a moderator, can put forward your question to the speaker. So if there are any questions, please type in there in the chat section.
Nope. They know it all. Can we?
You guys have no questions at all. Come in and ask. Yeah. So we were able to get one question. Let's hear it out. Introduce yourself and ask the question.
So, hello everyone, my name is Aniket Singh, and my question is how can we develop that ability to question the facts and present them?
How you can develop? Sorry. Speed. Yes. So you said how can we develop the ability to questioning the facts and
Ability to present.
okay. See, when we talk about like understanding the moods, now wherever there is a question of fact, okay, or wherever there is a problem, that's what mooting will help you out to understand it. That first you have to read the proposition as many time as possible, and then try to understand from that proposition that what exactly it's trying to speak, what exactly it's trying to point it out, and then from that figure it out that what are the issues. Now for example, just to understand, agar aap kahin pe bhi competition, if you want to participate, now the proposition which they give you, they have the proposition, they have the issues to it, so you know कि ये हमारा proposition है, ये हमारे issues हैं, लेकिन जब तक आप preposition को पढ़ोगे नहीं, उसके facts को नहीं समझोगे, how will you relate it? Okay, so that's very important, that as many times as you understand the facts, as many times actually you read the fact, you will be able to understand that how you have to relate the issues with it, and then how can you build it. Okay.
Please go ahead. Okay. Just so that other people can also. There is another question. So yeah, please introduce and ask the question.
My name is Aditi, and my question is, ma'am, how propositions are different from fact, or if they are same?
Sorry.
Ma'am, how propositions are different from facts, or they are same?
Okay, how the propositions are different from fact. Now see, facts can be, it's not, preposition is compiled of facts. Okay, it's a compilation. Fact can be a normal statement. For example, अगर हम किसी, for example, अगर हम बोलें कि कोई law आया है, या कोई चेंज हुआ है, या कोई अमेंडमेंट हुई है, तो वो हमें पता है कि वो एक फैक्ट है, हमने उसको पढ़ लिया कि ये चेंज हुआ है. लेकिन प्रपोजिशन क्या होती है? प्रपोजिशन एक प्रॉपर बिल्टअप होता है सिचुएशन का. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, कोई भी एक केस है कि एक पर्सन, जैसे कि हम कोई कॉन्ट्रैक्ट का केस ले लेते हैं कि अगर कोई पर्सन है, उसने ए एंड बी, देयर आर टू पीपल, उनने ए और बी के बीच में कॉन्ट्रैक्ट हुआ, ए ने बोला कि मैं गुड्स डिलीवर करूंगा बी को पर्टिकुलर टाइम के अंदर, और बी, ए ने पर्टिकुलर टाइम पे डिलीवर नहीं किए. ओके, अब ये क्या हो गया? ये आपके पूरे फैक्ट्स हो गए. इट्स कंप्लीटिंग अ प्रपोजिशन. अब प्रपोजिशन इसमें कैसे कंप्लीट होगी? फर्स्ट पॉइंट विल बी इश्यूज. इसके अंदर अब क्या आएंगे? पहला इशू होगा कि क्या ए और बी के बीच में कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है या नहीं है. दैट्स योर फर्स्ट इशू. सेकेंड इशू, अगर अब ए बोलता है, ए के जो आर्ग्यूमेंट्स या पॉइंट होंगे, ए बोलेगा कि देयर इज अ ब्रीच ऑफ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट, क्योंकि बी को डिलीवर करने थे लेकिन उसने इस टाइम पीरियड के अंदर नहीं किया. बी क्या बोलेगा? टू डिफेंड हिमसेल्फ, बी विल बी सेइंग दैट नो, देयर वाज नो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट बिटवीन अस, हमारे बीच में कभी कॉन्ट्रैक्ट बना ही नहीं. एंड देयर कैन बी प्लेंटी ऑफ रीजंस जो वो स्टेट करेगा कि दीज आर द डिफरेंट रीजंस, जिसकी बेसिस पे वो ये बोल रहा है या डिफेंस ले रहा है कि हमारे बीच में कॉन्ट्रैक्ट नहीं था. So when all these things are compiled, it creates a proposition which will be given to you on the base. अब उस preposition पे आपको क्या करना है? आपको अपने points build करने. How you will be building the points? You will be building the points with the help of laws. कि ये मेरे ये फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर कॉन्ट्रैक्ट का प्रपोजिशन है, तो ये कॉन्ट्रैक्ट के सेक्शंस हैं, ये लॉज हैं, ये एविडेंसेस हैं, ये मेरे पॉइंट्स हैं या आर्ग्यूमेंट्स हैं, ये डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ जुडिशियल प्रेसिडेंट्स हैं या इंटरप्रिटेशंस हैं, जिनके बेसिस पे मैं ये अगर आप एपेलेंट की साइड से हो या आप डिफेंडेंट की साइड से हो तो ये मेरे पॉइंट्स हैं और मैं इन पे आर्ग्यू करके इनको प्रूव करना चाहता हूँ या चाहती हूँ, एंड दिस इज माय प्रेयर व्हिच आई एम सीकिंग इन फ्रंट ऑफ द जज. So that is what complete or compiles a proposition. Okay, fact specifically is just stating the situation which is happening. It's not the complete compilation of it. Anything else? I mean, any other question?
There is another question in the chat option. But however, before proceeding to that, if I can just, if I can just add to what Sonali stated, you'll have to wait yourself. So mood proposition also, and one of the beauty of any legal discourse. That's why I kind of started my premise or conversation with you as a dialogue. One of the reasons as to why mood proposition, and Aditi brings a very interesting perspective when she says that what's the difference between fact and proposition. In addition to what the response is given, I would also say that mood propositions fact do not have that normative value. They are meant to be read critically. अगर आप किसी फैक्ट को अनक्रिटिकल नजरों से देख रहे हो and you are just believing what is written without understanding the context as to why it is written is what mood propositions allows you to do. That's what the intention is. For instance, think about it. Let's say there are statement of facts. Let's say if you are given a mood proposition and there are two parties. Let's say one is a plaintiff and a defendant, right? होंगी दो adjudication में दो पार्टी होती है ना. कभी कंपेयर करना कि दोनों जो पार्टीज अपने स्टेटमेंट ऑफ फैक्ट्स लिखती हैं, if there are facts and if they have that universal normative to it, they should be same, right? But go back and see at some of the memorials which are drafted, you'll find that statement of facts which are presumed to be of that normative value are written in such a different language, are written in such a way so as to support one's contention, which if I have to zero down what I'm trying to say is that when you look at the facts in a proposition, and this is something that when we'll work on our drafting skills, and when we look at reading the research problem, we'll look at it. For instance, if I say that, okay, fact, something which can be disputed, does God exist? For somebody, it might be a matter of faith. For someone, it might be a matter of belief. But for someone, it might be a fact having that normative value, right? So think about it कि जब हम mood proposition के facts की बात करते हैं, they have that avenue, they have that opening of various or diverse interpretation, and that's wherein you have to dig in and figure out how do you unpackage that facts. It is not to be read. Like, let's say if I as a faculty is wearing blue color today. That's a fact which is undisputed. But when you find facts in mood proposition, they're asking to be discovered. They're asking to be disputed. So when you look at the facts, or when you use this particular lingua culture of saying fact, it has a different connotation in, let's say, real life and in a mood proposition. And I would highly encourage, when you look at the mood propositions fact, don't go by them by the face value of it. They are there with a very specific intention. They are there to instill that courage to unpackage them in the way that you want to do it. Does that make sense? There is one question from Sambhavi Ranjan, and the question is, in memorial or in the moot court, is everything scripted or do we go impromptu? So I am going to ask Sonali ma'am to kind of take it on. So the question in the chat is from Sambhavi is, in memorial or in the moot court, is everything scripted or do we go impromptu or extempore?
Okay, yes. So what I can state is that whatever is mentioned in the proposition or in a moot problem, see, it's not we cannot say it's totally scripted or it's totally fictional. It can also be depending on the existing situations also, which we are trying to understand, as sir said, that we are critically trying to analyze. So for example, that recently there are many situations going on. For example, if we talk about IP, intellectual property rights. So there are so many changes into intellectual property rights. Constitutional rights are changing. Like for example, in fundamental rights, right to privacy, there has been a lot of changes. So already some existing situation, as I stated, when we talk about moot courts, when we talk about moot problems, so these are related to the appellate advocacy. Appellate advocacy means something which is already existing, something which has already happened, and on the basis of that the proposition or a problem is made, and that you have to critically analyze and you have to understand it. So it's not totally fictional or scripted. It can also be depending on an existing. Definitely, it can be a fictional situation also. Fictional in the sense something which is yet not. There are no laws existing to it. For example, cryptocurrency. It's a very new topic. There is no laws in India if we talk about relating to it, but still there are plenty of moot propositions made on it. So why? To understand the jurisprudence behind it, to understand, to critically analyze, to research that even if there is no existing law to it, how can we deal with those situations? Okay, so that can also be a way to understand.
I think there is another question. It's by Muskan. So Muskan is asking, like, when we participate in moot court competition, where the contention or basically questions of law or questions of fact, they are related to laws we are not familiar with. And also, secondary question is how much time one should devote while preparing for the moot?
Okay, so first of all, Muskan, or for everyone, if you are going for a competition when where you're not familiar with the laws, that's going to happen many times. Okay, now just to say that if you are a second year student, you have not studied all the laws. You are going to study in further 3 years, or you're even a third year student, fourth year student, and even if you're a fifth year student, you cannot say that you have studied every existing law. Law keeps changing. There are a lot of amendments to it. So definitely you have to work on it. You have to at least try to understand that what law it's talking about. Now, when you, how much time you should devote for making a moot, sorry, for the proposition and everything. So the very first thing you should always do is whenever you're working for a moot is read the moot proposition as many times possible, because moot proposition, the facts which are given in it, it gives you all of your answers, all of the answers. It will help you out to understand that what is the issues it is talking about. It will help you understand which laws it is talking about, from which area it is trying to make you understand, from which area it is being made. It will help you understand jurisdiction area, everything. So as many time as you study the proposition, it clears. एक बार पढ़ोगे, फर्स्ट टाइम फैक्ट्स आर नॉट क्लियर, काफी सारी चीजें नहीं समझ में आएंगी. माइट बी यू विल बी एट अ पॉइंट दैट व्हाट आर दे ट्राइंग टू से, कुछ भी कहीं से भी आ रहा है. सेकेंड टाइम यू विल रीड इट, यू विल अंडरस्टैंड द फैक्ट्स, बेसिक अंडरस्टैंडिंग. ओके, दे आर फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अच्छा कॉन्ट्रैक्ट से रिलेटेड है, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन से रिलेटेड है, क्रिमिनल लॉ से रिलेटेड है. थर्ड टाइम यू विल रीड इट, यू विल गेट टू नो, ओके क्रिमिनल से रिलेटेड तो है, लेकिन क्रिमिनल में ये एस्पेक्ट से रिलेटेड है, मर्डर की बात कर रहा है, रेप की बात कर रहा है, या वट एवर द सिचुएशन इज. सो दैट्स हाउ. सो देर इज नो पर्टिकुलर टाइम. आई कैन नॉट से कि एक बार प्रपोजिशन पढ़ ली या एक हफ्ते में it will in a 1 week it will be prepared. It totally depends that how you are critically analyzing it, how you are reading it, and you're making your points, or you're building your points on it.
Okay.
Any other questions?
I think we don't have any other question in the chat. However, I would, if you know, I would like to add to what Sonali ma'am stated, just to respond. And this is, I think, this is something that we had been thinking about as to, because this is one of the recurrent question. And thank you, Muskan, for raising it. But Many of the students who came up to us stated this question, that we have not done this law. We have not read this law. We have not done it. Should we participate? Whether it's going to be good move for us, considering that we don't have any knowledge. Now think about it, and that's a very interesting premise. कि ये जो आपके साल है लीगल एजुकेशन के, दिस इज ऑल्सो योर टाइम टू चैलेंज योरसेल्फ. कब तक उस कंफर्ट जोन में बैठे रहोगे? Supposedly, if you decide to be a legal practitioner, let's say in a very very traditional way of understanding law, अगर आप वकील बनते हो, लीगल प्रोफेशन में हो, आपके पास कोई क्लाइंट आता है, आप उसको मना तो ये कह के नहीं करोगे ना कि oh that's not my skill set. So do challenge yourself, and this is when you would be in a position and have that much breadth to problematize yourself. If you have not done laws, which are very very industry specific or which are specific, maybe this is a good time to take participation in that, to at least that will allow you to read those laws. Again, the question, and I think this will be my concluding statement before we kind of conclude. Again, the question revolves around the very starting premise. What do you seek from this legal education? What is the virtue that you're seeking? If you want to sit in a comfort zone or if in a closet zone ki jo hame padhaya hai hum usse pehle padhenge or we'll be restricting ourselves to it, that might not be the only way of looking at legal education. The way we understand law has changed dramatically, right? We have avenues of professions which are affiliated to legal education. We don't really understand legal education in a very black coat, black person, right? हम सिर्फ courts में understand नहीं करते हैं law professions को. Many of you will be in the nearby future opting for the companies. So this is also, and I think I would highly encourage all of you to not restrict yourself by stating कि अरे ये law हमने पढ़ा नहीं है, maybe we don't have expertise. या तो आप इतने confidence से बोलो जो law आपने पढ़े उनमें आप पूरे 100% expert हो, right? Either what we do with ourselves, and that's kind of a sad thing, that we try to become expert in a very specific area very early in our life. That's how you stop the evolution of learning. इतनी जल्दी से मत decide करो कि okay, this is my area, this is my niche area, this is the area where I would like to concentrate. So that's going to be my takeaway from what Sonali ma'am stated, and I think that's also one of the underlying intention, is to allow you to think that way, is to allow you to challenge. Ashu ma'am, do you have some concluding statement for us before we conclude for today's session?
Sir, I just want to convey to the students that they should not stop their learning. Yes.
I think, ma'am, I think you're muted. You'll have to unmute yourself.
Also, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Am I audible? Okay. So I just want to convey that the student should not stop with their learning process. Yes, like we as a teachers, we keep ourselves updating and all. So students should also keep themselves in the learning process, and they should not say that it is not in our course, we'll not do this law. As you said that this law we have not studied, so we can't do. So it is not possible. Yes. And nobody will expect you this answer after doing the graduation. Yes, that you can't say in the public that, sir, I have not done this law, I have not studied this law, or my teacher has not taught me this. So yes, you have to be updated. You should be in a habit of learning. Never say no. No in sense where something is being given to you, good things are being given to you. Obviously, to the bad things, you could say no, we don't need them. But for the good things, obviously in the academics, whatever is being given to you to join any session or any webinar or any sort of activity going in the department, you will learn something, some or the other thing from those activities. Yes, some students say that, ma'am, I can't speak. Yes, they don't come to the cameras. Yes, so that is not the only option you could say. Ultimately, you have to face the outer world when you will be going for internships. So there you can't hide your face. Or you can't say that I can't speak at this moment, I'll come tomorrow. No, all these activities are for your, and this is the best platform you could find in the 5 years to learn more and more. That is what I could say. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. That's I think that that concluding statement in itself gives us a lot to think and reflect upon as to why do we require moot code or moot code competitions in our legal educational framework. Tomorrow we have a session scheduled from 3 to 4 p.m. again. It will be presided over by an industry professional. I'll be moderating tomorrow's session, so I'm looking forward for the same level of attendance. Thank you so much for turning out in the offline class. Appreciate it's encouraging. So on that note, I think we'll conclude for today's session. Thank you so much, Ashu ma'am. Thank you so much, Sonali, for being part of it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Sonali, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.